Oh, wait, let me just take this first one. Mark is saying, Oliver, do you still own stocks or are you all in on Bitcoin? I do still own stocks. I own, let's just put it this way, I own a lot. I own a lot fewer stocks now that I'm in Bitcoin, but I've owned stocks for decades, guys. So my oldest position is Eli Lilly. I have, McDonald's from the 1980s. I have Microsoft from 1994. I've got Apple from 1997. I've got Amazon from 2003. These are big, big positions. They're family heirloom like positions, and they have been more rapidly dwindled down in the last 3 years than in any other time in the last 30 plus years. And so they are waning down. And so as I peel off those legacy positions, that those peeled off amounts are going straight into Bitcoin. And this is what I'm saying. I'm not the only one doing this. I'm not going the first one to do it. I'm not going to be the last one to do it. And so as people start to come out of their older forms of property, where do you think they're going to shove that into? They're going to shove it into Bitcoin increasingly so. This is what I've done. This is what I continue to do. All of my gold was peeled off. It went into Bitcoin. A big percentage of my Apple and Amazon was my largest two positions. A big percentage of those have been peeled off and gone into um, uh, Bitcoin. I am now peeling off Nvidia from 2010, guys. And that's the stock of the world right now. Peeling that off, going into Bitcoin. All of my traders know this. They've been with me on this journey. And it's going there. And so the coffers of Bitcoin just keep growing while the coffers of everything else keep shrinking. And this is going to happen. The Olivers of the world that are doing this are only increasing by the hour, by the day, by the week. They're starting to come in droves. They're starting to do the work and they see the numbers. They're starting to get this. And it's only just beginning. When you start to look at Bitcoin as the ultimate property, and then you start to define what are the existing properties, what has been deemed as properties before Bitcoin. And you realize that a big percentage of those potentially will collapse into Bitcoin as the better property. You start to look at real estate, you start to look at stocks, you start to look at bonds, you start to look at art, you start to look at gold, you start to look at collectibles, you start to look at every form of property that is inferior to this one. And anything that's physical, we've already established that, is going to be inferior to that which is not physical. We already established that the non-physical will be always exponentially bigger than the physical. And so all of your physical properties are going to collapse into the non-physical one, the safest one, the most secure one, the most global one, the most liquid one. Everyone said that gold was liquid, but it wasn't liquid for me when I wanted to get out, not with big size. That was a lie. But Bitcoin is liquid and it's global. Everyone told me the gold market was global. It wasn't global. Very centralized in 4 spots in the world. It's not global. It's global at the penny ante level. At the pawn shop level, it's global, but it's not global with size. When you understand it as the ultimate digitization or the dematerialization of all property, because it's the superior form of all property, you start to see the enormity of its future and how early we are